I'm Bob Babbitt, and welcome to All Out. We're coming to you from the USA Triathlon Junior National Championship being held right here in San Diego. Top rising young triathletes from around the nation are here to compete, some shooting for a spot in the World Championship in Beijing. Corey Voss introduces us to two local teenagers competing today who are worth keeping an eye on.
I also spoke with the race director for nationals.
They huddle before practice.
There were 10:52.
Two athletes, their dads and coach. Then it's time to sweat.
They understand the race. They understand what they need to do to excel, and they're not afraid to do that. Keep his hips facing forwards.
Tristan Bunch and Ellie Abramson.
Good, very good.
Say the more grueling a workout, the better. 6 days a week, hours at a time, under the paid direction of triathlete Jim Vance.
Step and hop, step and hop.
I take it in and do what he tells me to do, and then that affects the outcome of my race.
Second group, go.
Tristan is 15, a sophomore from Murrieta, who talks about his dad like he's a superhero.
Yeah, he can do anything he puts his mind to, like me.
His father competes in triathlon, Ironman Japan in '09 for one. So Tristan tried one at age 10.
I finished. I didn't place good or anything, but I finished.
His dad, a retired Marine sergeant, left 4 times to serve in Iraq and Afghanistan, while Tristan kept getting faster.
I think he just likes to be near the front, and that just keeps driving him.
Can you relate?
Yes, absolutely.
So can Ellie.
Good job, Ellie.
Who's 16 and a junior. She joined Jim's Tri-Junior team just this year.
You could tell right away. I mean, she just has that it factor.
And she's had it for a while. An accomplished swimmer, Ellie was still in elementary school when she began competing in triathlons.
As a young kid at 11, she won an Iron Kids National Championship in the 11 to 14 group. That was kind of surprising then.
At 12, she placed 3rd at the USA Triathlon Nationals. She's gifted and gutsy.
I've just always focused on being strong and fit and healthy because it just feels better.
In recent years, Ellie took a break from the rigors of juggling 3 sports and focused only on running. She and her younger sister both excel at cross country and track for La Costa Canyon High.
Is she faster than you?
In running right now, probably, but we'll see this year.
So sibling rivalry runs strong, but Ellie and Tristan are a rare breed, unique to most other teens.
Your friends know that you're a triathlete?
Yeah, they know I'm an athlete. I don't think they know how fast I am, but
Why not?
I don't know. It's just not something I talk to them about.
Why not?
I don't know.
No bragging?
No, they don't really relate to that stuff.
And a lot of people just don't have the drive to work out all the time and get up in the morning and go swimming or running.
We ready? And go.
A lot of it's physical, but a lot of it's mental too. You can't just
Here we go.
Depend on your body to do it all. You have to tell your mind to also move your legs faster. Don't give up. You want this.
Stay quick, stay quick. I try to get the kids to have what I call an attitude of authority in the race. Good job, Ellie. Where we control the race. We control opportunities. We don't wait for things to happen. We seize them. Good, Tristan.
Today, Tristan clocks a mile well under 6 minutes.
5:27.
Nice.
5:47.
5:47 mile. Well done, Ellie.
Come race time, both tend to struggle at swimming.
Here we go. Let's go, Tristan.
They must play catch up on the bike
30 seconds to first.
and then dominate the run.
Come on, 28 seconds back. You got someone on your heels. Give it all you got, Tristan.
In Iowa recently, with the nation's top teams competing, Tristan placed 3rd, Ellie 5th. So nationals hold high hopes.
She's a podium contender at nationals here, which would be great. She's got a very, very bright future.
I just focus on getting there and just, the feeling at the end of doing so well. It's really nice.
Line up, ready? If he's not on the podium, he would feel like he didn't meet his goal. 3, 2, 1, go. He could be 1st, he could be 3rd. It really is all about race execution.
My mentality is just to fight and go hard, and don't let anyone push me around when I'm there.
We'll see how Tristan and Ellie do later. In 2007, at just 17 years old, Taylor Phinney became Junior World Time Trial Champion. Our guest today is Taylor's father, the cycling legend, Davis Phinney. After being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, Davis founded the Davis Phinney Foundation for Parkinson's to help people living with Parkinson's to live well today. Now let's head back to the studio to chat with the 2-time Tour de France stage winner. Davis, when you were a junior, you had an opportunity to go back east to do the Junior National Cycling Championships.
Yeah, I had an opportunity. This was in the mid-'70s, and
Yeah.
my father, it was the first bike race my dad ever saw me in. It was my first year of bike racing.
Right.
So he drives me out there, you know,
Volkswagen
in a
van?
Volkswagen bus, whole 9 yards. Pull up to park and check out the course, and end up
Yeah.
parking right next to the LeMond family.
Greg LeMond and his whole family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Greg had a little better day than I did, but it was my own fault because me being a sort of thoughtless youth was training and racing on the same set of wheels and same set of tires for about 2 months. I had completely wasted my tires. So the gun goes off,
Yeah.
all these juniors, 200 guys flying down the road, and bang, that's not the gun, that's my tire.
Oh.
My rear tire blows literally 200 meters to go, 200 meters from
Into the race.
into the race, exactly.
And you've driven thousands of miles to get there.
Yeah, and so here my father, you know, has taken time off work
Yep.
and made this investment emotionally and,
Sure.
and certainly financially in seeing me get to the Nationals, is waiting for, you know, the group to come around first lap on a hill, on the feed zone hill. Well, group goes flying by and he's out there, I'm sure cheering, "Go Dave, way to go Dave," and as he relayed later, I just knew you must be in there, so I was just cheering for the group as a whole. But then about 5 minutes later, I see this poor wretched figure, shoulders slumped, miserably making his way up the hill, and I thought, this is my dad. He's like, and I thought, oh, that poor kid, I feel bad for his parents. and then I realized it was you.
Oh my God.
And I realized that his parent, who I should feel bad about, was me.
And then you guys had to drive all the way back home.
Yeah, and so I mean, my dad, you know, had about this much sympathy for me,
Yeah.
which minimized to zero when he looked at my tires, and I told the story of starting on lame tires.
That is the worst.
And so, you know, well, you know, I think I can be a pro someday.
They're like, yeah, you've shown us a lot with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Davis, we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. And please hang in there. We will be right back with more with the cycling legend, Davis Phinney. We're back with cycling legend Davis Phinney. Davis, before the break, we were talking about making that transformation to become a professional cyclist. Did you have some trepidation?
You know, I wanted to be an athlete, and I
Yeah.
wasn't so into my scholastics. And it was also an age where I was sort of disenchanted with life as I knew it at large.
Right.
And cycling provided this wonderful escape for me.
Yeah.
I love the community of the little band of brothers that I would come to form my first team with.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, if you were a pro, you're racing in Europe. If you're an amateur, you could go for the Olympic team. Take us through that a little bit, because it's something that really established Connie, your wife Connie, as this world champion, winning the gold medal, but also established, it gave you something to build off of, because you came away not with what you wanted that day.
Yeah, not with what I wanted would be a fairly severe understatement. I mean, I really wanted to win the Olympics, and that's all I thought about for 2 years at least, was the day and the finish line and all the things that I was going to do right within the race and make it happen for me to win. But, you know, it was not to be. But I was having such a good day. I mean,
You
I felt
were
so good.
fit,
Peak
so
of my
ready.
life was that day.
Yeah.
Absolutely peak of my life, and I felt so good, so strong. And that would ultimately sort of lead to to undermining me, because I just felt too good and I was too impatient to flex my muscle, and I took long pulls at the front. We had a breakaway of, I think, 9 riders.
Yeah.
And just, you know, did too much work. And all the while not knowing that Alexei was actually facilitating this, but through his own actions.
Right.
And because he had pinpointed me as his biggest competition.
No question.
And and he was watching me burn my matches, so to speak. Steve Bauer goes, and on the last lap, right in the feed zone, when I'm so desperate to get something, I'm looking at this bottle of Coke that is just going to either make or break me, and throw it down.
I got to go after him.
Sprint after Steve and just completely blow on the next hill. So I get fifth, and the dream finish of the married couple winning gold medals on the first day blows out of the water. But you know, well, exactly. And as you said, though, I think that really facilitated, provided fuel for me to go on and have a successful career as a professional, because we, the 7-Eleven cycling team, turned pro the following year, and ended up riding in the Tour of Italy, and then the following year the Tour de France, and then I had some success in the '86 Tour, along with Le Mans, who won the whole race overall. But
but you won a stage.
But I won.
You won end up 2 stages.
End up as a 2-time stage winner in the Tour, which is
awesome.
Something. Sport was definitely different then. You know, we didn't have the internet, and now I can find out instantly how my son Taylor is doing in any race, anywhere in the world, live time, basically via Twitter, via social media.
Exactly. You can find out who he's
via
dating.
the internet.
And let's talk a little bit about Taylor, because Taylor just got into sort of following in the path of mom and dad, but up until then he hadn't shown that much interest in cycling, and then you took him to the Tour de France in, I think,
2005.
2005.
Yeah, he was 15, and he became enthralled. And it was great. You know, I mean, just the whole environment around the tour, we had a certain amount of insider access, because I was writing as a journalist at the time and had press pass. And so, you know, it was neat. Taylor had access to all these riders that he would never have met otherwise.
Like Lance.
Like Lance, absolutely, like Axel Merckx, who would become his team director eventually. But what I think really got Taylor was that I bought him a white Leaders replica jersey,
like the young,
for the young rider jersey, and he would set off on the route, say 2 hours ahead of the race, and ride up the climbs, and people would just go bananas.
They'd be cheering
for this kid, and he loved it. Yeah, he loved it, and he just would come home at night and go, man, I had no idea, you know. And we were driving back. We lived in Italy at that point.
Yep.
We were driving back to our little town of Marostica in Italy. Yeah. He and I, and he goes, Dad, I think I better try this. I want to do this.
And just a few years later, he's in the Olympics in Beijing.
Yeah. Well, 2 years later, he was junior world champion.
From the time trial down in Mexico. From the time trial
in Aguascalientes. Yeah, that's right. And then 1 year later, he's made the Olympic team, having traveled 100,000 miles to hit all these World Cup.
To build up enough points.
Track racing. Yeah. In his event, the Pursuit, to qualify. Yeah.
And now he's...
And he even graduated from high school.
Exactly. And now he's on BMC.
Yeah. The
BMC cycling team, where Cadel Evans just won the Tour de France.
Yeah.
And I know he was racing Tour of Austria while that was going on. 21 years old now. And next year, do we think maybe he might be in the Tour to give it a shot? Or is he still too young?
I think Taylor, he may well ride the Vuelta, the Tour of Spain, this year, even at his young age, just because physically he can handle it.
Yeah.
And he needs as much experience as he can get at that level. But BMC's been wonderful, and what's really neat, Bob, about that whole program is that they're all people that I worked with, led by Jim Ockowitz,
who was your director of sport team back in the day.
And manager of 7-Eleven, built the whole 7-Eleven team from the ground. And so my old team doctor, Max Testa, my old teammate, Eric Hayden, who's now team doctor there. Gavin Chilcott I used to race with. He manages the team from the stateside.
That's so cool.
You know, and it's just all the way through the organization. I've worked with all these people, or I know them quite well.
Yep.
Trust them, and so when you're seeing your firstborn have this incredible ascendancy within a sport that you know pretty well.
Yep.
Both bad and good. You know, it definitely goes to seeing him have good solid mentors.
That's
You know,
awesome.
and Lance was a great mentor for him, and now Jim Akowitz is following suit. So it's been really neat.
What a great journey. The book is called The Happiness of Pursuit. Our guest has been David Finney. And now we're going to toss it back out. Let's catch up with Tristan and Ellie back at the USA Triathlon National Championships.
Ellie goes first in the Junior Elite Women's Division. What's her goal for the swim?
I'm going to do it in 9 minutes.
And they're off. Coming into the transition, Ellie's not a front runner, so now it's time to push. But as expected, she gains time in the bike leg and in the run, and finishes strong. 12th out of 41 finishers. Then it's Tristan's turn in the Youth Elite Male Division. He feels confident.
You ready for this? Yes.
Tristan is the 11th swimmer to reach the bike transition and knows he has the bike and the run to make up the difference. But unfortunately, Tristan crashes while dismounting his bike. Frustrated, he is still able to get up and complete the race in 8th place out of 70 finishers. But the disappointment on Tristan's face says it all. He won't make the podium this time.
In today's Challenged Athletes Foundation segment, we meet young David Gelfand, who was born with PFFD. Sarah Reinertson can relate. She lives in San Diego and represents CAF around the world. David was inspired by her story and now is an inspiration himself.
My name is David Gelfand, and I'm from Weston, Connecticut, and I am 10 years old. I have PFFD, and I was born with a short leg. My favorite sport is swimming. Swimming is good exercise, and it's fun. I've been on the swim team since the summer going into 2nd grade, so I've had a lot of practice. In the water, I feel like nothing's holding me back.
You ready to go? Okay. There you go. David's condition is proximal focal femoral deficiency, PFFD for short.
Hi, sweetie. Hi. David was born with no hip socket. Then he actually has a full foot at the end of a very small bone.
At first it was very scary. What does this mean? How do we move forward? His initial prosthetic had a knee, and he was fairly adept at using it.
Since he was a little kid, he's been incredibly active. You're doing great. Good job.
He never really looked at himself as different. What he didn't like was that he couldn't keep up with the other kids.
We first found out about the Challenged Athletes Foundation through the clinics that they do in New York City. The thing that CF has really done for us is they've really opened up David's eyes and given him a chance to meet other challenged athletes, both adult and children.
I met David at a Challenged Athletes Foundation sports clinic, and I remember this little boy with this, incredible bright smile. And he, came up to me and kind of hugged my leg, and it was an instant bond. You ready to swim?
Yep. I already knew about Sarah because she was on Nightline and The Amazing Race.
To him that was just so exciting to get a chance to meet her, to see her, and to learn from her.
Now, what events are you swimming today? This is a big meet.
I'm swimming the 100 free and the 50 back.
To see her functioning and doing athletics has really inspired David.
She could do running, swimming, and biking, and that inspired me to do triathlons.
You're going to do the triathlon this year, the Rye, New York one, you think?
I think so.
Yeah?
I want a bike with like the 21.
21 gears?
Yeah, that's what I want. This weekend, I'm competing in the swimming age group championships.
I'm so excited to get to see him compete today. And I know that he might not win, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that he's in the game.
For me, it's really all about just getting to be there.
I think he even smiles when he swims.
Having Sarah here is pretty nice.
Can I get a high five?
Sarah also has PFFD, just like I do.
You meet amputees for so many more reasons, but when it's someone who's truly walked in your shoes, you really do feel that connection. The Challenge Athletes Foundation experience is important not just for David, but for his whole family.
CAF has definitely changed our life.
And without CAF, a lot of doors would never have been opened. We never would have considered them. We never would have even tried.
If I didn't have CAF, probably I wouldn't have even gotten a running leg at all.
The relationship between Sarah and David makes me believe that he can really do anything he wants to.
My big goals are to go either to the Paralympics or to be in like an Ironman.
Now he has those dreams, and who knows, if he keeps working at it, he can achieve that.
To learn more about the Challenged Athletes Foundation, their programs, their events, or how you can donate or become involved, visit their website at www.challengedathletes.org.
Founded in 1982, the U.S. Triathlon Association changed its name to USA Triathlon in 1996. They are the official governing body for triathlon in the U.S. and are responsible for the selection and training of teams to represent the United States in the Olympic Games. In races such as today, athletes compete for those elite positions.
Athletes such as 18-year-old Lucas Verzbikas.
The nation's top high school runner in 11 from Illinois, Lucas Verzbikas.
Verzbikas wins the 2011 U.S. Junior Triathlon.
Time trial the whole thing, but you know what? I'm working hard, training hard, so achieved a lot. Here's Ben. He did a lot on the bike. He's great, and yeah, hopefully my team wins as well, and it was an amazing day.
Verzbikas, who's on the American team for next month's World Junior Triathlon in Beijing, has made a commitment to the University of Oregon. When pressed about a commitment to triathlon, that unfortunately remains to be seen.
Thanks for joining us at the USAT National Championships. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, no matter how old you are, if you're running, swimming, cycling, or doing a triathlon, you always want to be going all out.
For more information on this program, log on to 4SD.com, powered by Sign On San Diego.